You know somebody that gets a bad rap? Beast.
Beast, how you doing?
Now, if you're like 99% of the population, you are probably asking yourself, who the hell is Beast? You know how most heroes have some sort of cool backstory? I mean, first they were some loser, but then they got through some horrible tragedy that gave them amazing powers. Well, not for old Bonnie. Mike Maxwell was just an average millionaire playboy college student, until one day he declined his father's offer to join the family business, and instead decided to move to Africa with his college roommates so they can protect wild animals. So yeah, Maxwell might not be the brightest bulb in the crayon box. After making the brilliant decision to move to a nation riddled with STDs, poverty, famine, and guerrilla warfare, Karma decided to treat Mike a lesson by making his plane ride to Africa crash on top of a mountain. Mike and his college roommate then took refuge inside of a cave that was so conveniently found in the mountain. But to their surprise, they found a giant mutant ape inside the cave. Now, while any normal human being would immediately get the heck out of there in fear to the mutant ape, Mike shows a great deal of courage and stupidity by drinking some water inside the cave, then immediately trying to beat up the ape. But the water he drank was dosed with minerals, giving him superhuman strength and agility. Because why not? Anyway, after one monkey beating later, Peter ought to have a field day with this moment. The mutant ape gives Mike an ancient helmet from deep inside the cave. After donning the helmet, Mike was surprised to find that he now gained the ability of animal telepathy. Because, once again, why not? Oh, he also read the ape's mind and learned that its name was Juba. Also, I'm not so sure why an animal activist would be so quick to punch an ape. You'd think that that'd be the one thing he'd be trying to prevent, but whatever. After these amazing events, Mike decided to stay in Africa and become a crime fighter called Beast. But that's not even the strangest part of him. You see, what makes Bonnie special from any other hero is his token ability. He can take two animals and fuse them together! No explanation on how he gained this power. The best we can get is that he drank some radioactive waste one day and somehow could make chimeras whenever he wanted. Good old Beast was a fairly obscure character, even for DC, and has had very, very limited appearances in the DC universe. But I'm going to skip his comic appearances, as most of them are very scarce and finding the actual comics, or at least scans, is almost impossible. So I'm going to have to skip to his appearances in the DC animated universe. His first major role was in Justice League Unlimited, in an episode where Wonder Woman turned into a pig. I guess that's the creators wanted a bit more toned down version of old Bonnie, so they did take away his chimera powers and just made him a guy who could speak the animals. Because it's not like the episode where Wonder Woman turns into a pig isn't silly enough on its own. After that, Beast had a bit of a dry spot in the DCAU before the show Batman, the Brave and the Bold brought his character back for some episodes. The most major change made to Beast is that he's kind of the laughing stock of the hero community, mainly because of the fact that he fights crime in big cities most of the time you see him. So unless he's in a zoo, the best Beast can do is make a chimera out of a rat and a pigeon. Not very useful in fighting crime, unless he just so happens to be fighting a villain that has an animal theme like Catman. But even then, the best chimera he could whip up is a cat and a slightly larger cat. Once again, not so useful when fighting crime. Also, he had a girlfriend called Vixen who could summon one trait from any animal. There was also a sentient monkey called Detective Chimp who always tried hitting on her. But despite being a laughingstock from a community that mostly has single 30-year-olds in flamboyant spandex fighting clowns and robots, Beast seemed like a pretty chill guy. And unlike every other hero nowadays, Beast has a personality that isn't, "I am dark and grim because I am a serious character," or "I am wacky, I am so wacky, I break the fourth wall for no reason, guys." Beast is just an upbeat guy who tried to make a good out of bad situations, which goes very well with his powers as all of them are suited for specific situations. Now that I've talked about Batman the Brave and the Bold's interpretation of Mike Maxwell, I've come to talk about his darker side. Spoilers for a show that's 4 years old. During an arc involving Starro, a mind-controlling space starfish sent out hundreds of little starfishes that suck the life out of people, comes and invades Earth. Starro abducts Beast. Of course, Starro plans on utilizing his chimera powers to combine all of the little starfishes into a giant one, big starfish, forcing Beast with only one option. He sacrifices his own life for the better of all humanity. Now let that process for you a little bit. Beast, a guy who got superpowers from beating up a mutant gorilla, sacrifices his own life to save the world. And you know what? There's a pretty solemn and depressing scene, especially after Batman gives his last words saying that in the end, Beast was the best hero of them all. Wow, that got kinda grim. So that's Beast for you. So if we've learned anything from this little synopsis, it's that drinking cave water gives you super strength, beating up gorillas is a good idea because they give you magic crowns that make you do Dr. Dolittle, and that if you ever get the chance to either take a plane trip to Africa or $1 million, you take that plane trip in hopes that you get stranded on top of a mountain. It's a shame that there isn't any series about good old Bonnie. The last we've seen of the character was a punchline in the cartoon Teen Titans Go, and I hope this isn't the last we see of him. I can only hope that because of the New 52 rewriting everything that's happened in the last 60 years, that they remember Beast and maybe give him his own series. It seems like DC's trying to bring back a lot of their more Silver Age, campy stuff. Maybe Beast could be one of those people. Heck, just give him something! Beast has the potential to be a great character. Just give him something. Anything. Please. But until then, this is Pulp Nonfiction, Brian Rants, signing off. Hey guys, I just wanted to let you know that even though I'm the one who's recording this script and editing the video, the script itself, that was all Brian. So this is pretty much all Brian's thoughts. I'm just pretty much putting them out there in a form for you guys. So make sure you give him the credit on this one. He's the one who deserves it. Also check out our other videos. We got tons of content on the channel. Hope you find something you like and maybe subscribe one day. That'd be nice.